This is the charity portion of the show.
And the charity portion requires donations, if I'm not mistaken.
It requires donations. The more donations we get, the funnier we'll be.
So I don't know about funny, but the more they donate, the more I drink. So please donate.
If we get at least 10,000 euros in donations, I will shotgun this entire bottle.
That's also called a German sip. As you can see, I couldn't do one.
So, you will see some oh, people are leaving. Sit down! You will see some staff members. They're all leaving. Sit down, I think! Lock the doors!
Where's Dory when you...
Oh, wait a minute, I got it. Those are the Americans, aren't they? Fuck off!
They just don't want their American...
Republicans, get out! Republican scum, get out of here! Verpiss dich!
I think it's working too well, dude.
It must be. No, come back, please. Oh yes, you see these bags? Put euros in these bags. This is not for us. This is for the amazing
Litriola.
Shoelaces.
Litriola shoelaces, yes.
No, they're
anthropomorphic shoelaces.
They're stretch rats.
Stretch rats?
Stretch rats. You take a
Dude,
rat.
I thought they were water noodles.
Water noodles?
Yes.
No, I like stretch rats better. So, they will, okay, these bags will be passing up and down. And we're going to, oh, by the way, I am terribly remiss. I should be smacked. I apologize to our performer up here, who is really the big name you all came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not point out Fox some more. Our own bard, Mr. Amore comes all the way from the Highlands of Scotland.
Sounds more like Spain.
What? I didn't understand that he was speaking in Scottish. Oh, you're Spanish now. Oh, tacos, enchiladas.
That's El Foxamore.
Yeah, El Foxamore.
El Foxo, yes.
Oh, it would be El Zoromore.
El Zoromore. Yes, I like that version.
Yeah, El Zoromore.
I still love how it's like the bar that's currently set for furry music performances can play Thomas the Tank Engine on your instrument.
So here's how this works. The show is still going. At this point, we shall entreat donations for the little stretch rats. Oh, what are they called again? Water noodles? No, what are they called? Those guys. The Lutrioli. The minks!
Yes, those minks.
How can I forget the minks? Oh, I'm sorry. The European minks who are being forced out by the American minks. I saw what they did there.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to continue doing funny shit up here, and Fox Amore is going to continue trying to make it classy. And again, if you get a chuckle, if you get a little warmth in your heart, and it's worth it to you, drop some money in the bag, and we're just going to keep going.
Wait, I have to check first of all, because this happened last year. You didn't bring a Speedo this time, did you?
No. Did you?
Wasn't that part of the act? Well, if you don't have a Speedo, I'm not putting one on this time. I thought that was going to be like the #1 thing that happened. Like we put on a Speedo and we sit here and people look at us in our Speedos.
Last year there was nudity involved, and there were some people who thought that was a little over the top.
Well, are you saying you had nudity because there's a nude on stage?
There is a nude on stage. I'm going to keep my clothes on, and Tien is going to keep his belt on. Don't make him take the belt off. Incidentally,
there's definitely a drop down on fur affinity for that.
What is in this gourd that you carry? You never told me.
In this gourd that I carry? There's a whole lot of disappointment because it's empty.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, what normally goes into it?
Liquid disappointment.
That reminds me. I'm going to practice some of my Japanese, if that's okay. Nippon no tomodachi, doko desu ka? Osaka arimasu ka? Osake arimasen? Komarimashita ne, fuck you. There were supposed to be Japanese guys here with sake. They missed their cue. Because this gourd is generally for sake, right?
Yes, that is correct.
And we all know what sake is.
Isn't it that thing that, like, you know, old drunken, like, wise sages from the tops of, like, Mount Everest drink?
Yes.
Yes, exactly like that.
Which is why I drink it.
Oh, dude, I didn't know you were a video game final boss.
I am a sage from the top of the mountain.
Well, speaking of sage and being all sage-like and providing wisdom and whatnot, you mentioned that you did your first FurryCon panel earlier, right? So, it seems that every single year, you know, you've got a good smattering of, you know, first-time people that are actually attending that con for, you know, learning rather than watching and hearing you do funny things. Did you see them learn anything in particular? Any important lessons that you may have imparted on them? Like refilling your glass, perhaps?
Typically, we teach them things that we should not have to teach people.
Like?
Oh, like, do not walk through the glass doors. Yes.
I thought that was what birds always did.
Everything, every single rule that this convention has, everything we teach you was put in place because somebody made it necessary.
Wait a minute. When you say that, and I recall you mentioned that no running in the woods at night sign because hunting season is on.
Yes?
You weren't making that up, were you?
I was not making that up. You know my stories are 105% true.
Are they certified by the FDA?
Certified by the United States White House. That's what they're certified by.
Right. So, what was that hunting thing? What was the result of that?
Okay, what was the result of that? No fursuiters ran into the woods and got shot, thank goodness.
Okay, good. So, basically what we're saying is Eurofurence doesn't have a hunting season going on right now.
They do not.
Good.
It is always a concern when fursuiters are out in public or outside of the convention, you know, secure area. My God, I wish I could remember which con this was at. It was many years ago, in the early 2000s. I was at the convention, and for the life of me, I can't remember where it was. I was at a bar, and there were some fursuits there, and there was a drunk, not me, a different one. And this drunk was harassing the fursuits. And I could see that he was being an asshole and the fursuits weren't very comfortable, and I was going to say something, but a fursuit, was a partial suit, went up, and I could see this fursuit talking to the drunk, and the drunk looked like he was not having any of it. I couldn't hear it, but I knew what was going on. The fursuit was probably saying, dude, look, just why don't you leave these folks alone, okay? And the drunk, thank you. The drunk was getting very belligerent. And I saw the fursuit, he had his hand up, and he's saying, oh, dude, don't even try it. The drunk took a swing at him. And the fursuit ducked back and the swing missed. When the guy finished his swing, the fursuit grabbed him by the collar, shoved him against the wall, pulled out a badge and said, you're under arrest. If I had been the least bit sober, I would have filmed that. I'm positive I didn't dream it, because I remember a few other people were talking about it the next day. But for some reason, I cannot remember the details.
I remember one particular incident that I had seen at a convention in the USA involving fursuiters and interactions with the public. Some of you here may have heard of a convention by the name of Eurofurence. It takes place around this time. In fact, it takes place next week after Eurofurence.
Next week? Oh, it does.
Yes.
I can wash my lap.
And it takes place in the city of Indianapolis. So one year, they were having a convention in a hotel at the same time as a fraternity meeting. For those of you that are not familiar with fraternities, or frats for short, they're basically, you know, social clubs for guys that basically like to say bro and dude with every other word in their sentences.
Do they have college fraternities in Europe too? Or is that strictly an American thing? Okay, you know what we're talking about. Frat boys. Okay, go on, Tien.
So they had frat boys in the same hotel as the fursuiters, and, well, throughout the weekend, we didn't really get along. And the frat boys kept on, you know, throwing jabs verbally, maybe physically at the fursuiters. The fursuiters kept on doing it back. So we decided one night to settle our differences the old-fashioned way.
Not the very old-fashioned way at 10 paces, a different old-fashioned way.
Oh yes, the 10 paces, not that old-fashioned. Not the old American-fashioned way, the old European-fashioned way. So they all got together at a long table at the bar. Fursuiters on one side, frat boys on the other side, and a giant keg in the middle. So they started drinking together, and they had one glass after another, one pint after another, and they kept on going at it non-stop, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, trying to slug it out and see who would be the last group standing. And at some point, the frat boys started chanting, "Take it off, take it off, take it off. Take it off." And at that point, the fursuiters looking at each other, well, they wanted to show what they would do, so what did they do? They took it off.
The heads.
The heads, that is, of course. And they placed the heads on the tables, all gross and sweaty. For those of you that are familiar with fursuiters, it doesn't exactly get nice after a while. There's definitely a drop down for you on Fur Affinity. And when the fursuiters put the heads on the table, the furries all looked at one another, and they looked at the frat boys dead in the eye, and started chanting, "Put it on, put 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 it on." And lo and behold, the frat boys put on fursuit heads.
Give it to them, come on. We need more of that shit.
Yes, the frat boys put on the fursuit heads, and lo and behold, we had converted the frat boys into furries.
You missed the one, okay, you missed the icebreaker.
Oh, the icebreaker?
Remember the icebreaker?
Well, I remember it, I just don't know if you wanted to deliver it since you brought it up.
I was there. You see, the frat boys didn't trust the furries and didn't want to interact with the furries. They had this giant bowl where they had a mixture of alcohol, and they had straws and they were sipping from it. And this little old man in a lab coat came over and was watching them. And the frat boys, with their straws, they stopped and they looked at the little old man. And the little old man said, "Amateurs." And after that, we were friends. Oh, don't go throwing shit.
Oh, I just lost my biggest fan. That's no big deal.
I'll put this back over here because the wine's getting warm. Thank you, Wadius, by the way. Wadius gave us a hat full of coins.
Did I drop the icebreaker on the hat full of coins?
I think you did.
Oh, and there's one other detail about that story that I always love to share, especially for those of you that are familiar with, well, let's say, the convention security and how they might usually go around telling people to keep it down at parties. Well, at this particular convention, with all the commotion going on, the convention chairman ran to convention operations and said, guys, there's something happening in the lobby. And the security head went with the convention chairman, running to the lobby, and they stared down at the scene alone. And the security guy said, look, right there. Or the convention guy said, look, right there. And the head of security looked at the concierge of the hotel, and the concierge looked back up at the hotel, and the head of security And the hotel concierge just went,
They're getting along.
they're getting along, no one's getting hurt, and frankly, they're buying the bar out, which is always good for business. Basically, it goes to show that there's a lot more in common, like you had said earlier, where furries aren't made, we are discovered. You already are a furry. You don't need to be given an excuse to become a furry. You just need to accept that you are.
It was that same convention. Okay, this one is always difficult with the European audience because there's a lot of cultural meaning to Americans, and I'm not certain if it translates well. Let's try it and see if it works.
All right.
Some furries wanted to get onto their, we always say fursuiters should get on first. Well, fursuiters are waiting for the elevator, and the doors open, and there were 2 or 3 of these frat boys on it, and they wouldn't let the fursuits on. And one of them said, "Sorry, you ain't Rosa Parks, and you ain't getting on this bus." And the door is closed. Well, the furries reported this to the convention chairman. The convention chairman reported it to the hotel convention services manager, who is a very small, soft-spoken black lady. What was her name, do we recall?
Tanya.
Tanya. Not our Tanya, Tanya. They reported to Tanya, who was a small little black lady. They said, "These frat boys wouldn't let us on the elevator. They said, you ain't Rosa Parks and you ain't getting on this bus." Now, again, I wasn't there. I can only go by what folks told me. Apparently, Tanya heard this and she said, "Oh,
Hell no! And she went running right out of the room. That night, for the very first time ever in that fraternity's history, they had to hold an emergency board meeting that same night to address the fact that the hotel wanted to kick all of them out and their reservations no refunds given because they pissed the furries off.
Oh, not because they pissed the furries off. They pissed Tanya off.
That too. Tanya's a furry, that's for sure.
Yes. It's very, very heartwarming to me to see how far furry fandom has come. I don't like to take credit for anything, but there's one thing I will take credit for, and that is introducing the city of Pittsburgh to furry fandom. That if I die right now of alcohol intoxication, which is very, very likely, I will go to my grave very, very proud of the fact that I turned Pittsburgh furry. And that's something that I've mentioned to Sven. I turned the city of Pittsburgh furry. Well, Sven, the city of Berlin awaits. There's the challenge, guys.
Okay, but they're at least allowed to have fursuiters at the airport.
Okay, all right. They can have fursuiters at the airport. We can't have fursuiters at our airport because, yeah, it might cause a problem. Are you kidding? Okay, it was not that long ago that if you got onto an American aircraft and you had knitting needles for knitting, they would take away the knitting needles. And I asked one of our TSA, Transportation Security Administration, which is American for Geheimstaatpolizei. I said, "Why are you taking away that old lady's knitting needles?" And he said, "Because she might knit an Afghan." Tien, save me. I think I screwed that up.
I think I need to end you right now.
That goes over really big in New York. Like I said, cultural,
Yes, let's work on that alcohol overdosing, shall we?
Okay. Sorry, buddy.
So, the city of Berlin is ripe for the furries picking, is that what you're saying?
Oh, did you see that? Okay, outside of the Reichstag when we were there last year visiting, they had the boards up for construction, and one of the boards had a picture of a young lady French kissing the Berlin bear.
Oh my goodness, that
You're already 98% of the way there, for God's sake.
You guys have more furry, art
Yeah.
than most countries even allow on their websites.
That picture was actually kind of hot. I
Is it bad that I agree?
French kissing a bear. That's. I gotta take a picture of that.
I did.
Did you have the same kind of feelings that I had?
Is it the feelings I can talk about without wearing a lab coat to hide it?
Don't give away my secrets.
I do agree, though. Berlin is a magnificent city, and to be quite honest, I wish I had more time each year to go out and visit it. We did last year, did we not? We took a day out to Berlin, and we took a few friends with us as well, some local tour guides, so to say. And I remember when we actually went to, the Reichstag, and we walked around and did the touristy things, and we went, photos and whatnot, and we stopped by one of the tourist shops. Do you remember that brochure that we saw?
Oh, the one that, was it showing that it was, the one that had President Obama and President Trump with his pants around his ankles and Angela Merkel kind of embracing them both? Or do you mean a different one?
Well, yes, Mama Merkel, as I believe she's called, Mama Merkel basically standing tall, imposing over the two presidents, one former and one current, and the presidents have their pants dropped down and showing the American flag boxes and basically proudly singing the American national anthem, and Grandma Merkel is just standing over them like, I am so disappointed in you, America. That was a kick-ass brochure. I am pretty sure I grabbed at least a photo and a copy.
And he's not even American.
No, I'm not.
See, the funny part is I really wanted to see that show because I want to know what that was about.
Then, you know what? We should have asked them to come here this weekend. I
Well, the
understand they have
thing is,
shows.
I wanted to know what it was about, but then that night I turned on CNN and I knew.
Speaking of the shows that they have here in the past.
Oh my fucking God!
I have a special delivery for the wine thief.
That's definitely me. I'm the thief. Yes, that's
Where the fuck? Excuse us, ladies. Little sidebar a moment.
No, he clearly addressed it to the wine thief.
Let me see this.
No, you can't thief the thief, okay? That's called unstealing. No, you cannot unsteal a stolen item.
What's the date?
The date is, dude, it's soft.
What? Motherfucker! He's English. I thought it was. You fucking cock tease.
Don't say that. You know that they want it to be.
This is Fran.
Whoever gave us this cock tease, we'll call it, first of all, screw you. Second of all, you owe me a bottle now.
It's very realistic.
Okay, when he brought it up, I was all like, oh, hello, oh my, notices your bottle, oh, whoa. Now I'm just, hitting all the angry emojis in response to that.
I do wonder why I drink.
I would drink, but this is a fake, so I can't. I'll just stash it beside my bottle of disappointment. How about that?
Yeah, that looks about right.
Eyes up, you.
Sorry. Oh boy. I was going somewhere with that.
We were
No
going
idea
somewhere
what I was
and then
gonna
we
say.
got cock blocked. Anyhow,
What? Oh, read the label on the bottle.
read the label on the bottle.
It's in Japanese.
This says
It says Osake.
Guai Lo.
No, it says sake.
Okay, fine, it says sake.
And this says made in Japan. That's what it says.
If it was made in Japan, I'm pretty sure they would have actually put sake in there. Oops.
It would.
It gets a little limp sometimes, okay? I can't help it.
Oh, pick that up.
There we go.
Sorry.
What were we talking about before that happened?
We were talking about Berlin.
We were talking about Berlin and how, oh yes, I was going to mention how they also have shows, I believe, at the S-Film. I could have sworn that the year that I first came, which was 2017, one of the shows that was playing that night was some sort of, I want to say it was a burlesque show.
It was a burlesque show.
Well, it turned into a burlesque show.
Turned into one, yes. There's a story there.
Because I remember when some of the patrons were coming out of that show that evening at the Astro Convention Center, right next door actually was where the show was. A couple of the fursuiters were there just sort of casually posing around. And some of them started just coming up to some of the patrons of the show and very Chester Ringtail style started, well, let's just say, turning it into a burlesque show.
Yes.
You're enjoying this too much, aren't you?
I wasn't there, honest. At least not that anybody can prove.
BBF, we need video footage right now.
Do you think BBF would have filmed that? Yes, he would have in a heartbeat, wouldn't he?
Absolutely. Actually, the filming and, you know, the videography and all that stuff at Eurofurence, that also blows me away every single year. All the stuff that they were doing at opening ceremonies yesterday, the animation and all the cameras and even the laser show that they were doing, absolutely fantastic. And I can imagine if we went back to the Czech Republic for 1 year that they could perfectly recreate all of that, couldn't they?
They can. The thing is, every year, Eurofurence films everything exhaustively and they make a video to commemorate the year. They usually release it 30 years later. So since we are now becoming unstuck in time, you might have seen the EF11 and EF12 videos. The F13 video is not due until after I'm dead.
I mean, we could probably bribe BBF to get it a little faster, can't we?
How do we bribe BBF? What do we give him?
A burlesque show.
No, we give him American beer.
Oh, goodness. Oh, that story, eh?
Turn around, Tien. It's them again. Oh.
Oh.
No. I'm not falling for this again. I am not falling for this again. You can fool me once. Shame on you. And fool me twice.
This one's hard.
Oh, is that a real one?
That's very, very real. And it's very, very for me as well.
Oh, do I get one?
Oh, wrong one.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, BBF, make sure you get that on camera. It's so nice when I get to have a taste of what the Uncle Kage has to enjoy all the time. He was complaining before he even got into the room, saying, I was on my way here and I was given so much wine. And I looked at him and I said, oh, you poor first American problem baby. Where'd you get that? Do you need a screw?
Where's that guy?
Uncle Kage needs a screw. Someone screw Uncle Kage. I mean, his bottle, please.
Bitteschön. Êtes-vous français? Oh! Deutscher! Geben Sie mir. Oh, I'll take it anyway, thank you. See, this is the first German that I learned.
Dude,
Okay, I have to tell you about the, remember at Eurofurence?
Yes.
When I was at the bar?
Oh, no.
I was at, okay, Indianapolis. Very hard for Europeans to say, Indianapolis. I was at Indianapolis and people were asking me about Eurofurence. And they said, do you speak German? And I said, well, I learned all of my German going to Eurofurence. I learned how to say, Wein. I learned how to say Weißwein. I learned how to say Geben Sie mir Wein. I learned how to say Geben Sie mir Wein jetzt. I learned how to say Geben Sie mir Wein jetzt, bitch. And that's people were giggling, they were laughing. And the bartender came up to me and she said, what did you just say to me?
He got a really big tip after
$20, yeah.
which is like €2.
At the time.
Yes. So you had a glass and a bottle just now. You were taking 2 Germans at the same time. Dude, Eurofurence really knows how to push you to your limit. What is that?
When? By the way,
Yes,
this is a
I think
charity
it's-
show. Are we still getting money? Because we're sweating our asses off up here, but if we're not getting money, I'll tell you what,
by the
get
way-
some sour notes or something. That works. Do your stuff, guys.
There we are.
We want to That's a start.
That-
Hey, it's a Greek Yoshi. Hello, Yoshi.
Hello, Greek Yoshi. Oh, thank you so kindly, Greek Yoshi. Thank you. You're a good Yoshi.
If anyone would like to hear more about our Lord and Savior, alcohol,
Oh, thank you so kindly. Thank you very much.
we remember the precious birth of booze. In those ancient days, before we had bottles, where we simply had to put rotting grapes into our mouths and wait. Remember those days, Tien? You're old.
Oh, yes, very much so. That innocent, act of just putting those grapes in your mouth and, having a wind in your face and potential food poisoning.
Having a what in your face?
Having grapes, rotten grapes in your face.
Of course, I misheard you from it. Thank you so much. On behalf of the Stretch Rats, we thank you. And
Those are the
this
same.
really does look real. God damn it.
That's the problem, is that it's too real. But
It is too fucking real.
Look, we could jerry rig it so it has like an IV drip of sake.
Dude, don't say jerry rigged in this country.
Oh, my bad.
It means some. Okay, we're going to Trump rig it. We can say that.
Okay, we can Trump rig it, fine. I've got 2 bottles, but only 1 straw now. I have to Trump rig this one as well somehow.
There's a second straw.
So, what else is happening at this convention? I'm trying to think right now on the back line. Oh, there is a second straw.
This is a charity performance, but we also have a charity auction.
Yes, we have a charity auction. I remember, actually. Did we not go and do the auction earlier? Just like a little preview of what's there?
We stepped into the charity auction earlier to see what might be there, and I actually dropped something off. Is anybody out there familiar with a little web comic called Slackworm? Do you like Ferragus? Joshua Wright donated a Ferragus plushie. It's down in the charity auction, an actual, honest-to-goodness, official Ferragus plush. You can take it home.
Yes, this plush comes with the unique, uncanny feature of sitting there and doing nothing. Yes, it is the only plush of its kind that does that. You can put it down, and it does nothing. For example, it's like this bottle. If I put this bottle down, actually I'm not going to do that because I want it, but if you put the plush down, it just sits there and does nothing. It's very lifelike, wouldn't you agree?
Exactly. Let us not disappoint Mr. Wright, the creator of Slackworm. We should like to see Ferragus go for a lot of money. And again, as Tien Long has promised, we can absolutely guarantee that that plush will do positively nothing. You can put it on your desk and it will do absolutely nada, zilch, lien, nothing at all.
Yes, you can put it on your gold shinies and tell it to guard it, and you'll find that it's probably just actually done an effective job of guarding it. But you know, most of the time it does nothing. So it's a great deal. You can pay a whole lot of money for a whole lot of nothing, and somewhere in the world, a European mink will be very happy for it. Because remember, this is for charity, and this is for the Nutriola European minks as they try to fight back the Americans.
Yes, they're fighting against the American onslaught.
Yes, the American takeover.
And winning with their help.
Oh yes, yes, we can help the Europeans beat the Americans back to their holes.
But I also understand, Mr. Amore, is there not also a charity concert planned?
There is a charity concert, and it is Saturday afternoon. I don't remember the exact times, either 1 or 2 maybe. There's usually tickets for it. I don't know how many are left, but they usually sell out. So if you don't have a ticket for the charity concert, now is definitely the time to get one.
I just like to hear him talk. It makes me hard. I said that in the microphone, didn't I?
So the way it goes is, as soon as I leave America, it just takes maybe a couple of minutes for the Scottish to come back. That's all it takes.
Wait, are you saying you have an American accent?
Every time I try and do an American accent, I sound like I'm from Texas.
That's actually rather convincing, I'll have you know. Goodness.
He does. Earlier on, when he was trying to speak German, we had a Scot speaking German with an American Texan accent. My mind just exploded at that point.
It's the furry fandom.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of this fandom. Has anybody yet added up how much money the various furry conventions have raised for charity over the years?
They have, but it's actually getting harder and harder to track these days.
It is, since we're metric, it is a metric fuck ton of money.
Wait, because if it was imperial, it wouldn't be as impressive. Are you saying that?
Anthrocon alone has raised more than $250,000, and that's a single convention. Midwest Fur Fest just raises stupid amounts of money. But I've always told all my colleagues over in America, Eurofurence outdoes us on everything. Let's not make a liar out of me, shall we? Because what is this all about? Why do we raise money for charity? Especially animal-related charities, because we are the ones who give voice to those who have no voice of their own.
Hear, hear.
If we don't do it, who else will?
And look at those water noodles. Okay, come on. Who doesn't want to pet a water noodle? Come on. That's the whole point of this, is you look at the water noodle, and the water noodle looks back at you, and then you look back at it, and then it just gives you this little, like, :3 smile, and then it's like, okay, shut up and take my money. That's how charity usually works.
So they've given us some more money. We should probably do something funny. I'm out of ideas. What should we do? Maybe Fox should think of something.
Dude, these are... Dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, shh. Look at this.
There's 50s
Hey,
in
who wants to
there.
hear Uncle Kage sing?
50s in here.
What kind of song?
Stick a few more euros in the charity and let's see if we can get Uncle Kage
You
singing
haven't been to
something.
the dealer's den yet, have you? That's why all the money's here. All right, whoever is in charge of doing the money thing, if you want to come and help clean this up, because this is a rather nice
I
chunk
know
of
the
cake.
lunch, for God's sake. Only the Brits would like that. We could do my national anthem, the original version. Do you know that the American national anthem started out as a bawdy British drinking song? It kind of fits, doesn't it? You see, it was during the War of 1812 when the Americans kicked the asses of the British, more or less.
But we burned your White House.
Okay, they burned our capital, but we still mostly kind of sort of won. Kind of not, but did. Yeah, the British gave us guns, and we said, well, we have a constitutional right to these, so we're going to shoot them at you. But of course, the British gave us their leftover guns. There was a fellow named Francis Scott Key who was watching the bombardment of the city of Baltimore. And he looked through the haze of the morning day. How is the battle going? Did the British win? And far off in the distance, he could see through the haze of smoke the American flag still flying, and he was inspired to write a poem. He was inspired to write a poem because the British sailors had gone on a bender the night before. They were still up, they were drunk off their asses, and they were belting out their favorite drinking song.
Oh, so you mean Emperor Khan's staff dinner?
Yes, basically. And I have taken it upon myself to learn that version because that's the original version. And it's a wonderful song, and it basically talks about some basically fat old Greek guy who essentially loves to get drunk and throw up on his shoes and wear a lab coat up in heaven. Something like that.
You didn't throw up on your shoes already, did you?
Well, that's why they're so shiny. If you don't know the version, I'll give it to you. I'll probably fuck it up because I might have had a little bit to drink. Let's give it a try, shall we?
Go for it.
The original song. To Anacreon in heaven, where he sat in full glee, a few sons of harmony sent a petition that he there inspire and patron would be. This answer came back from the jolly old Grecian voice, fiddle and flute, be thou no longer mute. I'll lend you my name and inspire you to boot, and thus I'll instruct you once more to entwine the mantle of Venus with Bacchus's wine. God bless America.
I was absolutely taken aback by that.
Was that?
I was absolutely taken aback by that stunning rendition, so much so that I must give you a present for it.
Oh, present!
Yes, you may have
It
it.
says, Canada burnt the White House.
Sorry.
Sorry. That's what it says.
I mean, remember, blame Canada.
You have settled after your long establishment as a guardian of the skies. You have settled in Canada, haven't you?
Whoa, did I just double in volume?
I think you might have.
Yeah, I mean, whoa, dude, I'm like talking in 3D right now. That's
Yes.
cool. Yes, but yes, you are correct. I have settled in Canada. Sorry.
I wish I knew all the words to this one.
Well,
I don't know
you
if
mean the
Fox knows the
Canadian
tune.
national anthem? Is that what you're saying? Well, we could give it a shot. Would you like me to take point on it?
How's it go?
Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us commands. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north and the beavers. From far and wide, oh Canada, that sun is for me. God keep our land until we meet again. Oh Canada, your great ball rise for me. Oh Canada, your hockey sticks are bent.
That's the American version of this national anthem. Okay, we gotta be fair. You're stuck with a national anthem you never wrote, right?
Wait, he wrote a national anthem?
No.
Our national anthem is just how drunk we are, depends
Okay,
on the song
his
we want to
national anthem, you can either be extremely drunk or very tired. Shall we have it for Her Majesty?
Can't you be both?
You can. Let's have it. Ladies and gentlemen, Her Majesty the Queen. The real
The
one.
Queen's
The
national
Queen's
anthem.
English.
Oh, my dad's gonna kill me.
Fuck your dad.
Sorry, Doc.
Everyone join in. Lord save the Queen. Gracious Queen, God save us. But you got your own words, do you? Okay, we're going to skip the boring verse. Let's go to the Ark of the Covenant verse.
Yeah, let's hear the Indiana Jones part.
This is the best verse. Right? Oh Lord, our God, arise, scatter her enemies, and make them fall. Queen Elizabeth has the Ark of the Covenant. She opens the thing up and everybody dies.
And I still love the entire fact that if you look at any of the Commonwealth countries and the currency, whichever person is on the currency, if it's the Queen, for example, if she's closer to the motherland, she still looks like she's smiling, but the farther you go away from the motherland, she's just scowling. So if you're all the way in Australia, she's basically just looking at you with sheer, pure, unfiltered disappointment.
She's like she wants to kill your entire race. Like, it's just terrifyingly angry.
That's the British.
You
Sorry,
damn-
sorry,
you
I'm sorry,
damn
too soon,
kangaroos.
too soon. All right, what about the Scottish national anthem? Have you guys written one yet?
We're kind of working on it.
Oh, well, how long have you been working on
Once
it
this
now?
Brexit thing sorted out, we're going to have our own national anthem, and we're going to be part
Does
of
it
the European
involve
Union.
whiskey? Whee! All right, if Scotland had a national anthem, what would it be?
Basically, the exact opposite is everything England says. The exact opposite.
And
So
Runrig
you're
would
going-
sing it, right? Runrig would sing it, right?
Runrig would probably sing it, yeah. Or maybe Sean Connery would like recite it in poetry. Like, that kind of works too.
Okay, if Sean Connery sings it and he doesn't at one point say "Shuck it, Trebek," then I'm going to be disappointed.
Yes, I'm
Sean Connery.
I've got a thick cock and
I'm Sean Connery, and this is the Scottish national anthem.
And that's it. Nobody knows what
Sean Connery plays Draco in Dragonheart. I'm sorry, it's so great.
What time is it, by the way? Oh, have we gone over time? If we gone over time, it could be... Oh, we got 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes. Fuck, we gotta fill 10 minutes. Think of something, quick. I don't remember the words.
All you.
And only the English would appreciate it. All right, how many English people are out there? Oh, I'm sorry. How many British people are out there? A lot more, did you notice? Yeah, we know what it's like to be, subject to a foreign power who is kind of in control of your nation and against your wishes.
You guys escaped.
Dude, Scotland should be like Canada. I mean, when we get our feelings hurt by Britain, we go get them checked out for free.
I could probably bring the words
Are we
up.
doing this then? Are we going to do the freaking Flanders and Swan thing?
As soon as I can remember the words. I don't know if I have intertubes here. All right. Keep me busy. I'm going to look shit up.
I'm just enjoying the fact that this old man over here still can't use Google for his life. He calls me every other day and he asks me, "Tien, I can't figure out why my Google isn't working." And I ask him, "Did you turn your phone off and on?" And his only reply is, "Oh."
Got
So
it.
go. Did you get it yet?
Yes.
Good, I gave it enough time.
It
Go
is a
for it.
song describing the British weather.
Yes.
Give us the first run and we'll go through. January brings the snow, makes your feet and fingers glow. February's ice and sleet, freeze the toes right off your feet. Welcome March with wintry wine, when thou wert not so unkind. April brings the sweet spring showers, on and on for hours and hours. Farmers fear unkindly May, frost by night and hail by day. June just rains and never stops, 30 days and spoils the crops. In July the sun is hot. Is it shine? No, it's not. August cold and dark and wet, brings more rain than any yet. Bleak September's mist and mud is enough to chill the blood. Then October adds a gale, wind and source and rain and hail. Dark November brings the yeah, went away. Sorry, I got an ad. Fuck the ad. Sorry, don't want the ad. Sorry. Dark November brings the fog. Should not do it to a dog. Freezing wet December. Then bloody January again. Oh, the Brits like that one, don't they? And the Germans are one to talk because we've experienced your German summer here, haven't we? Yes, I was out there getting a suntan when the hailstones hit me. Now, good God, that looks like a lot of money.
Dude, I'm still surprised. I mean, where are the money people right now? I mean, this is a whole bunch.
I don't know, I think they baggered off. Oh, they're British, I think we insulted them.
Oh, right. They're going to check if the weather is sunny or shining yet. Don't think it is.
Yeah. Oh, hello. We'll start putting it in there. Start stuffing it in there. You're good at that. Go on, stuff it.
How much time do we have?
Somebody caught up with that.
You
Oh, wait a
killed
minute.
perhaps 3 or 4 of the 10 minutes. How much time do we got left up here?
I don't remember. Where's my phone?
Dude, I'm not finding your phone.
How do I turn it on?
Yes. Okay, we're not doing the live tech support bit, okay? I'm already easy enough up here.
All right, we're winding down. Okay, our feet are tired and you're tired. So we're going to wind this up once again on behalf of the Stretch Rats / European Minks / Danger Noodles, whatever we want to call them.
Yeah, danger noodles work.
As we say, those who have no voice, that's what furries do. We are generous folk and we understand helping out those who need help, don't we? I'm going to throw a little extra thing in.
Go for it.
As an American, I had a little bit of fun earlier on, both in this show and in the previous show, poking fun at some of the events that happened in the lives of our parents and grandparents for some of us. Not to make light of those events, but to remember those events. We can't forget them. Sometimes among friends you just have to look back and laugh. And one of these days, this is an earnest hope of mine. I'm going to reiterate this because this is something I hope to God happens before I die. Someday I want to sit down with an Al-Qaeda terrorist and I want to share a meal and I want to look and smile and laugh and say, remember how it was when we didn't understand each other. Here's to that day.
I think that's an appropriate note to end off on, especially with how Eurofurence has brought so many together. We can look forward to many, wink wink cheetah, more years of that.
And I hope they will invite us back because there's a lot more bottles where this came from.
Well, I guess we'll just have to start working on them then.
We are forever indebted to the incredible, amazing Fox Amore for indulging us. Thank you so much, Fox. the skies, Tien Long, for keeping the thunderstorms away so I was able to get here. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
That's your theme song. Shouldn't you be dancing to that?
No.
At your age?
At my age, I should probably be in a wheelchair whenever I listen to that. I get flashbacks of when I dance to that.
Oh, yes, wheelchair breakdancing.
We
Who
are
wants to see
not
it? Who wants to
introducing
see
wheelchair
breakdancing with
breakdancing.
Tien Long?
We are not introducing wheelchair breakdancing as a panel.
2020 charity event, we just got it. Wheelchair breakdancing with Tien Long. Somebody write it down. Isn't it sweet how he volunteered for that?
Yes, I couldn't help but notice that at the same time you've got this lovely staff badge.
That's not staff, that's guest. That's not staff, that's guest. That means guest. I'm not staff.
Sweetheart, you know what to do.
I'm not staff, I'm a guest. Just like Fox and Moore's guest, that's guest, right? That means guest. Guest. All right, we've 3 hairs left.
Dude, I think you're looking at 2.5 there.
What the hell happened here?
I don't know, that's true.
Did you hear that?
I think that's Cheetah's voice of God.
Okay, I'm definitely hearing things. Okay, when you get to that point where you're starting to hear things, it's time to go.
Yep, I agree. Is there a snap in here that just mowed at us? Somebody go get that snap. It's hunting season at here.
Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are left who have endured this long, we thank you for your generosity on behalf of the charity. We look forward to many more of these things. Both Tien Long, myself, and Fox and Moore were here the entire weekend. If we had given you the slightest bit of a chuckle or a little bit of good feeling this evening, then it is time well spent. Thank you for sharing it with us this afternoon. And thanks especially to our amazing helpers who are helping to count the money. All right, you can fuck off now, we're done.
Yes, go and Dickens off to the water noodles and whatnot.
Yes, Vicky Health.
Go visit the water noodles if you
Yes,
haven't.
for this dish. Andre told me that.
Geben Sie Euros. Yes, geben. Oh, it's not hot. Oh, I'm